Greetings, cyberspace cadets. It's IRATE Prostate here, chasing the hatriarchy down and kicking its ass one dipwit at a time. And I've got another episode of Chaos 120 tonight. And in the studio with us are the one and only 6 minutes. Next 6 minutes. Sorry.
I am here. I am here, and thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay. And Tara Sin, say hey. And last but not least, we got Scooby, and we may have some stragglers later on. Say, hey, bro.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey. Ho, ho. All right, let's go. All right. Just doing checking everything. Is everything sound good, everybody out there? I see we got some people in the, and we're going to go ahead and get things rolling here. We're going live because we are alive. We've been alive and we're still alive. And Death Harukin, hello. And he says, hello, Six. Sir Adamantine, hello.
How's it going, man?
Good. All right. Well, killer. All right. Looks like we got a live group. All right.
It's like Skip Talk is telling me that they can't hear Tara, Six, or Scooby.
Oh, let's try that again. All right. The next 6 minutes. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, how are you?
I'm excellent. Tara, can you do?
I'm doing all right.
All right. And Scooby, say hi to everybody. Apparently, I had y'all numbed.
Oh, well. My cat says hello too.
Hey, cat, what's happening?
The angry pussy.
She is not angry, but she is a pussy.
And it has teeth. So
Teeth and claws and a lot of sass.
is everybody having a good night tonight? Talk to us.
Yeah, pretty good night.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So Skip says it's much, much better. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Once again, we're a work in progress.
I love your splash screen, man.
Well, thanks. I got a new moving thing behind it. So, and it's right now it looks like it's stiff, but it's changing to some slides, and then it'll start with some more moving. So if you're
Awesome.
if you're tripping, just take it a minute. It's gonna be okay, and just kind of just dive into to the picture.
Ooh, what was that?
I don't know.
Oh, I put you guys in my bra.
Oh, oh,
Awesome.
Okay.
nice warm place. I say yes, thank you. All right, so this is Wednesdays. I'm the host, and we got a little bit more wind sound going on there.
I think she switched us to the other boob.
Nothing like Boobarama.
Now, whether it's the left boob or the right, we don't know that yet.
Well, if we can hear the heartbeat, if we just listen slightly, come here.
Now it sounds like she's doing somersaults. Wow.
Tara,
Hey,
Tara.
Sounds like you fell off a cliff.
Yeah, I'm saving everybody. I'm saving all y'all out there. Yeah.
I think Tara was playing Pokemon Go and just took a header off a cliff.
All right, Tara, you back with us? You
she
okay?
Pokemon went to the polls.
Okay. So it's Chaos 120 people, and we're living up to our name. How, Kitty? What do you got to say tonight, Kitty? Because we know you're loaded with the good stories.
Yeah, Kitty's always got a good story.
Well, I guess we're going to kick it off doing some shilling, I guess. We'll do the intro shills. Please be my guest, Six.
Sure. I have a very interesting, I should say, fun tea time stream coming up this Sunday. And Well, it has to do with the Oscars. So if anybody has a particular bone to pick with Hollywood or any Hollywood-related stuff, then, hey, you know what? Tune on in and listen and chat, and you know, you'll have a good time. Because I certainly have plenty to say myself about the Oscars and Hollywood, so that's going to be kind of fun. Also, I released a new video on my primary channel today. And, oh yes, I have to say this. With deep regret. February has failed us. It has failed us hardcore. So, unfortunately, the lovely old temperature scale, the thermometer, exceeded 75 degrees Fahrenheit, not once, but several times. This afternoon, I clocked it in at 85, which is a whole 10 degrees warmer. So, unfortunately, for those that, don't particularly like Christmas music, next month will have to be Marchmas again. That means I'm going to be playing Christmas music every day for the next month on my various social media outlets. So I'm just warning you beforehand that if you don't have Marchmas cheer, then next month will be a month you shall fear.
Ooh. Getting all rhyming couplet-ish on us.
Yes. When I am forced to buy antihistamine pills by the fistful, then, well, I'm not in a good mood.
I hear you. My sinuses aren't built for this shit either. I'll be honest with you. So yeah, spring is usually not my friend either. So, but thank God for nasal spray. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
And then tissue. All right, Scooby, you got something you want to talk about show wise?
Let me think. Just the usual stuff I had going on. I was just going to head into the city probably on St. Patty's Day. And if they do that gun march up here like they're planning on in D.C., I was going to go in there and just try to question those kids without getting mauled.
Cool.
What else do I got cooking? Well, obviously more in September. And just I'm going to try to put up a few videos. I was actually at Target today and Best Buy looking at a GoPro. So I might be picking up a GoPro, God willing, if I got the money in the next week or two. So
Nice.
I'm going to try to put up some videos. I take requests too. So anything you want me to film in Manhattan or Brooklyn or Queens or New York, I don't go to Jersey though. I draw a line in the sand at Jersey.
Fantastic.
Damn, and I wanted you to talk about the New Jersey Shore.
Oh, hell no. Got no desire to do that.
Hey,
It's
prostate.
the sitch in the room. Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Yes, sir.
Can I have a magical blue spanner?
A magical blue spanner. A spanner you shall have. Just say hey in the chat. Make sure you show me yours. Okay. Hi everybody. We're gonna take our friend for a joyride. All right, come on. There it is. Add moderator. Sweet.
So I'm going to give everybody a link to my my new video that announces Marchmas.
Yes.
Hey, whatever you got to do, brother.
It's my way of blowing off steam.
I don't know. I guess it's
Wow.
because we got to change the seasons up here. You know, we actually get like all the greenery coming in and all the flowers and the buds and whatnot.
I hope we don't get a content strike from Disney.
Are you kidding?
Shit.
They don't give content strikes. They send people to your door.
Yeah, no doubt.
With guns.
Well, it's,
Yeah.
it's another day in Alabama. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. All right. I guess it's my turn to shill a little bit. Tomorrow, hot takes from Netflix. Big Fat Brian and I are going to be talking about the French horror comedy sister film called Raw. It's also about cannibalism. It's one of those movies where you can see it and or you can see it. You know what I'm saying? It's multi-layered, and the deeper you go, the deeper you can get with it. You can go everywhere from a superficial, comic type approach, or you could say it's about veganism, or So there's always different perspectives that we can view this video from, and it's really a great movie. It's really one of the best horror films I've seen in 10 years. In the last 10 years, I'll say that way. And then, of course, we've got the Cream Stream is still planned for Friday night, and Drinks with Friends with my bro, Sir Adamantine, who I see is lighting up the chat as usual tonight. Brother, I salute you. And I guess it's time for, NHL scores, my friend?
Yes. Let me get those queued up for us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, interesting lineup tonight. It appears as though the Detroit Red Wings are down a goal to the St. Louis Blues, 1-0, with 12:52 left in the third. The Calgary Flames are on top of Colorado, 1-0, with 1:24 left in the first. The Manhattan Rangers are currently up on the Vancouver Canucks, 1-0, with 18:15 left in the first. Unfortunately, Scoob, I'm sorry, but the Montreal Canadiens have defeated your New York Islanders. 3-1.
Damn it. Yeah, it is what it is.
The Buffalo Sabres have defeated Florida Man. They have defeated the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-1 and overtime. So that's one silver lining. Florida Man has been defeated. And that, of course, was the NHL break brought to you by the next 6 minutes.
All right, Six. Thanks. I want to say hi to Jack T. Ripper out there in the audience tonight. He is one of my favorite human beings, and I just want to salute to him. There's so many people out there that I do like and love and care about. And Malevolent Rider, also, I want to say hi to you. And why am I? I don't know. But hey, I'm with you, and we're all here together. So I'm going to say hey to the peeps in the chat. I kind of want to stay involved tonight. I usually get all obsessed on other shit, so it's like I'm going to try to stay and keep focused on everything at hand. So anyway, we got some funky, chaosy kind of news floating around.
We do.
Colleen's been doing her thing, hasn't she?
Yes, she has.
Hey, Colleen.
We'll start this one off. Oh man. Yeah. Let's see. We'll start this one off with a story that Ryder actually sent to us. Apparently, this is some idea. This is just pathetic, but this is some guy's idea of showing his commitment to diversity by drinking chocolate milk. Yes, Governor Rauner. I don't know which governor of which state he is particularly governor of, but apparently, in an awkward onstage appearance this week, Governor Bruce Rauner drank a glass of chocolate milk to demonstrate his belief in diversity.
I think it's Connecticut. I'm not sure though.
Now, is this a diversity of people, or is this a diversity of flavor? Because
keep reading, because they explain it all so concisely for us.
All right.
Oh God!
Buckle your seatbelts, everyone.
Indeed, it's great.
It's really, really good, Rauner said after taking a sip of the sugary drink. Diversity. The clunky corporate metaphor was a brainchild of the Hyatt Hotel's diversity and inclusion executive Tyrone Stoudemire, who appeared alongside Rauner on Wednesday at the downtown Chicago Thompson Center to discuss workplace diversity at a Black History Month event. Enlisting Rauner as his lanky magician's assistant, Stoudemire, who is black, poured a glass of milk to represent the white men who lead most organizations, including the state of Illinois.
Oh, for Christ almighty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Just wait, dude. Just wait.
Just wait. Oh my gosh. This chocolate syrup represents diversity, Stoudemire said, before squirting a healthy dash of brown syrup that immediately sank to the bottom of the glass. When you look at most organizations, diversity sits at the bottom of the organization, Stoudemire continued. You don't get inclusion until you actually stir it up. Rauner then stirred the syrup into the milk, turning it brown, and he took a sip and pronounced it good. He took a sip and pronounced it was good. Diversity is the mix, and inclusion is making the mix work, Stoudemire said, and concluding his analogy. Stoudemire tells Chicago Incorporated he's been using the chocolate milk stunt for 16 years. Damn. As a simple way to illustrate the lack of diversity at the top of Fortune 500 companies. He typically picks on the most powerful person in the room to be his assistant. He said, adding that Rauner didn't know what he was getting into. He declined to comment on Rauner's efforts to improve diversity in Illinois government, but said, I give him credit for his willingness to step up and put himself out there. He could have said no. Rauner spokesman Rachel Bull did not respond directly when asked whether Rauner was embarrassed by the stunt, but wrote in a statement, this was the event, moderator's example of diversity that an audience of all ages could see and understand. It was one of 2 demonstrations at the event, both of which received ovations from the crowd.
You know, I'm nearly 40 and I don't understand it at all.
It's just some dumbass on a stage drinking chocolate milk because reasons.
Well, you know, I think that, well, when the feminists come, it's only right that they use strawberry syrup so they can represent menstrual blood, right?
Yep.
And they can mix that sucker up. I used the same joke last Friday, so
it's the sweet taste of metaphor.
It's the joke that keeps on giving.
Oh dear!
Just for my buddy Sir Adamantine.
There we go.
And jalapeno flavored chocolate syrup.
There we go. Hey,
That sounds disgusting.
don't knock it till you tried it.
But it's all metaphor anyway. It's say no more. We know exactly where he's going with that.
Oh boy. Let's see. There doesn't seem to be
there's a whole cottage industry of these fuckers that go around to corporations, and the people are getting paid to be there, and they make them sit in these rooms for 2 days, and these people like you, people like me, people that do shit like this and make $150,000 a year doing it. Think about that.
Oh yeah, it's a hell of a hustle.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say, and you said it so appropriately. I love it. I love
Thank
Scooby.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's a man with a way with words.
Well, I grew up around con men and bushwhackers and sidewinders my entire life, so I know all their tricks.
Yeah, 3-card money, bro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back to a little Joe.
All right. Well, what else do we have that Colleen has graced our lives with?
Well, let's see. I'm having a tad bit of trouble with Twitter. It seems to only be posting 2 or 3 stories, both by writer. I don't exactly know what's going on here, because I don't see anything by Colleen Bernier. I think that it's like something very bizarre. It's like things are just like trickling in. I don't know what's going on here exactly. It's almost like everything that she's posted just disappeared. Yeah, that's weird. All right, do you see it?
She probably got connected to us. I'm telling you, they're shadow banning.
That is very strange. I'm going to look up, I'm going to search her name in particular.
You can always pilfer from the monkey and the rider.
Well, let's see. Okay. Here's one. Oh my gosh. Hey, Florida man to the rescue. All right. It appears as though a man has died in Florida on an interstate after falling through a hole in his RV. Yes. Thank you, Colleen Bernier. I had to actually go to your Twitter to get this one, but thank you nonetheless. A man has died on a Florida interstate highway Sunday after he fell through a hole that opened in the cabin of a recreational vehicle when it hit a guardrail, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. Imagine the odds. Keith Hurtick, 52, of Bayshore, New York, was a passenger in a 1994 Ford RV driven by Joseph Raposa.
Wait, what was his name?
Keith Hurtick.
Really? What was the other guy's name?
Joseph Raposa.
Okay, continue.
Of Bradenton. Of Bradenton, Florida. The Tampa Bay Times reported. Troopers said that Raposa lost control of the vehicle on I-75 in Sumter County, located northeast of Tampa, and hit a guardrail on the left side of the road. The impact opened a hole behind the driver's seat, the Times reported. Hurtick, who was sitting behind Raposa, fell through the hole while the vehicle was still moving. Troopers said he was taken to the hospital and was pronounced dead at the Ocala Regional Medical Center, the Times reported.
Oh, damn.
Raposa was not injured, and alcohol was not a factor in the crash, troopers said. So, yeah, the odds are just like
something tells me though rust was involved.
These particular guys, you could actually look on News 12 Long Island. They're like local celebrities as far as like getting arrested for like mediocre shit. I'm sorry to hear about the one guy. It's funny because my wife actually works out by Bayshore. I got to drive her out there every morning. That's funny. My condolences again about the one guy, but fucking small world.
Yeah.
I never thought that, you know, two guys I know were going to wind up in one of our Florida Man articles.
It's a small world after all. Ooh.
Yeah.
Content strike. Oh, goodness.
If Disney isn't after us for that fucking pixie dust fiasco we just went through for the past 5 minutes, they're not coming for that.
Pixie dust.
Yeah, whatever the hell terrors, it's still doing it.
It's bed knobs and broomsticks.
What about me?
Yeah, if every time like Six would say something, we'd hear your freaking your phone go like doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. I know
that's probably the TV.
Yeah,
it's
no, I
the
know.
Magic of
I know you're not doing it on
120.
purpose. It sounds like it's time, though.
It is unique. It is strange.
Yeah,
it's strange. Every time I say something, there's like a little. There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the TV. It's the TV.
No, I know. It's cool.
It's the magic of Chaos 120.
I thought that Prince of Queens might have walked into the room or something.
Okay, it's like the sitting screen for the bed knobs and broomsticks, where it's got the bed flying through the air and it makes this sound.
You know, I know what it is. It's funny because the timing. It's like you're doing it. I know you're not doing it at all, but it sounds like you're timing it. Like you're sitting there hitting the button every time he says something.
Well, you know, I thought I was just magical. That my voice It conjured up these magic sprinkle powers. Magic sprinkle.
Whatever, man. I'll go with that one.
All right, check this out.
Yo. That's cool.
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's a bot. If you'll notice that there, in the room with us is a being known as the BTK, and this is
Yes. What is this thing in the room?
this is Base Trap Kayla, a friend of mine, and a mod in this Discord, and she helps us with the stuff, and she installed that bot with the air horn as part of it. It's just Yggdrasil, I believe, or Yggdrasil. I can barely
Yeah, no,
say
you
it.
got it.
Yeah, it's Norse. It's a Norse. It's the tree of life, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the nine realms: the Earth, Jotunheim, Niflheim, Muspelheim. Well, let me think. What are the other ones? We're Midgard.
Asgard.
Thank you, Asgard. I don't think Valhalla is connected. I know Nordheim is. Let me
How about
see.
Anaheim?
Thank you. No, that is actually one of the names, Anaheim and Vanaheim.
Ah.
So, yeah, that's actually where the name Anaheim comes from.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's deep.
Uh,
Are there ducks
I
there?
thought it was just
I don't know.
a stupid little city in Southern California.
I believe it or not, I only know all of this thanks to Walt Simonson's run on Thor.
Yes. Oh yeah, with the Beta Ray Bill, man. Oh my
Oh,
God.
hell yeah.
You know about Beta Ray Bill? Oh shit. Okay, man.
Beta Ray Bill
you are
is
perfect.
he's the man.
No,
He's
no,
the
no.
man.
Look, pull your teeth and grow a beard, and we'll move in together now. I found my life mate, my perfect life mate.
I tried to explain to my wife because she's
Damn,
like,
it's not me.
why the fuck does this kid look like a horse? I'm like, it's not a horse. He's a Corbinite.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Oh yeah, well, I followed not just Walt Simonson's run on Thor. I was a really big fan of Jim Starlin when he was doing Silver
Oh my
Surfer.
God, Jim Starlin's a great artist too, man. And he did the Kill Raven, War of the Worlds
Yeah, I have it.
reboot. Yes, man. See, all right, you know what you're talking
Prostate. I own between 10 and 15,000 comic books.
about. Okay, and I can,
You have to remember, I grew up in New York in the 80s and 90s, and
That's
as a
right.
boy, I didn't want to get shot, so I sat at home and read comics a lot.
I hear you. I was just fat and lazy. That's my excuse. So
Nah, neighborhood was a shithole back then.
I hear you.
Thank God for Giuliani.
You're awesome though. That's I'm impressed.
Oh, thank you. That's actually why I use this avatar, because of what Disney did to Marvel.
And the all right, how do you say that? Malevolent. That's it. Malevolent writer says that Beta Ray Bill is the best Thor ever. I must concur.
He has the best looking costume, I think, by
He's
far.
the most honorable too. He's
Yeah.
very honorable.
And he's my second favorite color.
Yeah.
Orange.
I kind of like Eric Masterson when they gave him the Thunderstrike persona afterwards.
Did you? I don't know. Did y'all notice that in the? Who's seen the movie?
Which movie?
The latest one.
Thor Ragnarok.
Ragnarok.
No, I didn't get a chance to see that one.
Oh.
It's a good one. It's one of the best.
Okay, you know,
of the
all right,
G-
you'll know what I'm talking about.
MCU.
There's a tall building with faces on it, right? You know whose faces, but Beta Ray Bill's is on the side.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a definite nod to Beta Ray in that. So, and only a true fan would know that.
I'd have to definitely watch it then. I was explaining to my wife, she's like, what is the dog in the astronaut outfit? I said, well, that's Cosmo. I said, Cosmo is, he's a cosmonaut dog who gained psychic abilities when he traveled through a black hole. And that's how he wound up at nowhere. I have I got so many Guardians of the Galaxy comics. It's not even funny.
Yeah, and yeah, he showed up in the collectors. Yeah, did you notice that in the
Oh
movie?
yeah.
Yeah, I did too. That's cool, man. Yeah, you'll dig Ragnarok. It's fun. It's just straight up fun. You know, nothing heavy, nothing anything like that.
I
It's
gotta wait for it to
probably
come out.
it's
You know,
probably
on
one of the
home.
top 3 best MCU movies.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
And a lot of people are
Um,
saying that this new one is one of the best too. So I'm gonna see it, and if I like it, then you'll know it's good. Okay, because I'm not gonna bullshit, and you know, but every one of these people that have said it's good, I trust their judgment. So I'm inclined to already like it.
Yeah, Black Panther is good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's better than Ragnarok, but it's good.
All right. Well, see, I
you
respect
know
that.
what really bothers me
Listen to
is
the
that
magic voice.
Black Panther had to come out now in this political
I don't
climate.
know if you were always going to do it red.
You know, it's just
No.
I've been looking
Just
forward to
before you
seeing a
put
movie
the
about the Black
map,
Panther
I'll
for
give you,
years,
like,
and it just has to come out
did you
when
say you
we're
were
at
leaning
war with these
towards not
fucking
doing it red because I was
SJWs.
telling you to do it
You know,
initially? You were like,
I can't enjoy the fucking movie.
Well, I know red's a lot of work, and I was just
Yeah, there's
lazy. I
that's
wanted
the
it
certain
red,
amount of
but I didn't
regrettability as
want
far
to
as
stuff
that
it.
goes.
But
I tried to go in there with as an open mind as
that's, like,
possible,
really fucking easy.
and
I should do a tutorial
the
on it.
the
How to
surprising
play
thing
it.
is that
It's really
it's
different
not
from my
overly
channel,
SJW.
especially
In
with
fact, it's
weekly
fairly
stuff
even-handed
with my hair,
as far
like
as that
reviews
stuff
on the
goes.
products I used
Yeah,
and
you know,
shit.
I've actually
And
heard
oh, I know
a
it
lot
was
of
actually
black
a lot better
conservatives have been touting that
with
it's
the
actually
Jeremy
alt-right,
Wallace
and they've been
cemetery
laughing their asses
stuff.
off
So
about
I
it.
might just whack that up on my channel. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Anthony
the
Logan
Plus, it's
actually did a
informative,
review
and it
about
came
it,
out
and
so
he
good,
has, you
and
can
it
see
was
he
in
has
one
I forget
go.
the actor's name, and I
And I
apologize.
went
The
from black
character
hair
he
to
plays
like super bright
T'Challa,
red with no
but they show him
bleaching
actually
or
wearing
anything.
he has a
no.
Chadwick
superimposed.
Boseman.
Thank you, Chadwick Boseman. He has superimposed on Chadwick Boseman wearing the Panther outfit. He has superimposed "Make America Great Again" hat on his head,
MAGA.
which I think is actually hysterical.
Make Wakanda great again.
I've been hearing this a lot from them because, in case you didn't notice, I'm quoting Uncle Hotep, the YouTuber. I think I've showed you a few of his videos. I think the man is hysterical. He's over in PA. But he uses the term that they use. I forget. I think it's Zimbabwe. They call African Americans a kata, which actually I think translates to cotton picker, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, but he says the character Killmonger is a typical example of what he uses the term the American shine. I'm quoting the man, mind you. I don't want to use these racial slurs that he's using and get, like, people chasing me with pitches and, like pitchforks and torches and shit. But my point is, he explains that it's actually, if you notice what the context of the movie is supposed to be, is Africans rejecting the African American interloper, basically, is like an undertone. It's like a rejection of African American culture, because from what I understand, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I'm not even giving away spoilers if I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, some of the dialogue that Killmonger is using is he's saying things about how he wants to take Wakandan culture and give it to all black people all over the world, things of that nature. And the Wakandans are like, go scratch your ass with pro Wakanda. We're not pro black. And basically it's a nationalist message is what I'm getting at. And I guess because of the skin color, everyone missed that.
Yeah, there are some who have this attitude that every dark skinned person with genes that originate in some part of Africa, they're a monolith. Well, no. When people talk about Latinos, they think of it. There's some that think of it as a monolith, that Cubans and Mexicans and Costa Ricans and Guatemalans and Puerto Ricans they're all the same, and they all hold hands and sing "Kumbaya" in Spanish. No, 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 no. They're not a monolith either. I don't understand this notion of monolithic, racial, ethnic, cultural, so on and so forth.
Well, the reason
Unity.
you don't
It doesn't
understand
exist. It's a myth.
Yeah, well, the reason you don't understand it is because you're not a shithead. You can't get it's hard for you to get yourself down to that level. You can't really, seriously. It's beyond your ability to think in that compartmentalized fashion because it's a stupid way of thinking. I hate saying it like this. This is no disrespect to young people, but it's a way that children think. And that's the problem. Your mind is too mature. You can't step back into that way of thinking. Consider yourself lucky.
Well, I'm glad I have grown up sufficiently enough to understand that that monolithic notion is complete bullshit. That it's a myth, it's a fairy tale, it's a story that that people who haven't grown up tell to small children to convince them that of things that don't really truly exist. It's the sound effects in the background are completely appropriate because it's like
change out the D.
Yeah, it's a magical fairy dust of racial harmony or some other. I just don't understand it. I just don't.
Well, you see what part of the thing is. These are the same people that don't see problems in their own communities. So they're not going to see them in other communities or with interactions with other communities. I look at it from this way. You're from Texas, so you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Things like the county fair, different counties. You guys will compete over things, pigs, vegetables. Who can, like shoot the gun the furthest, things. These are actually, I'm not knocking it. These are actually like things that we lost up here in the North and I actually miss. So, these are one of the things I actually like about other states. But I'm pointing out the fact of you have different communities within these different communities. You have these different counties. You have different towns. There are different rivalries on those levels.
Yeah. In other words, nuance.
Yeah.
All right. We've got breaking news. I just want to let everybody know. Yes, Andy Worski had started a roast stream earlier, and it was killed, and he is down. It looks like a community guideline strike against Andy Worski.
Damn!
People, yes.
He's been attracting all the wrong attention from all the wrong people over the last month.
Fucking Canadians.
Or is it all the right attention from all the right people, if you think about it?
I would like to interject and say that the roast video that got him hit was made a year ago.
Really?
He got suit yourselfed.
Yep. Crazy.
Well, that sucks.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Well, he's joined Sir Adamantine and among a bunch of other fantastic people. So that's a good.
I know I'm going to sound like a complete bastard saying this, but now that opens up his slot.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh yes, it does.
It's interesting because there's a internetbloodsports.net just got set up, and they started a link for it today. I noticed it. It may have been up yesterday, but I didn't notice it until today. So it looks like it's going to feature Andy's material as well as Baked Alaska in addition to the Kumite stuff. So I think they've already. I think they saw the handwriting on the wall.
Didn't Baked Alaska just get deplatformed across the board too?
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, they did say that Sargon was trying to dodge the debate, and
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
No more magical music for sticks.
My magic hath run out.
Wait, BTK, you're saying that Sargon dodged the debate that just got shut down?
No, I was making a joke that from when Sargon was on Baked Alaska's channel and they accused him of trying to dodge the debate. I was basically making a joke that he omni-destinied Baked Alaska or Andy Worski's stream to get out of the debate.
Oh, he flagged it, just so he wouldn't have to.
It was a joke.
Like the kid who pulls the fire alarm to get out of taking a test.
Yep. So
I actually knew a guy who did that in school.
More will be.
I'm not going to dox him. I'll tell you his name afterwards. You can look it up. They threw the book at him.
Oh.
I think he wound up doing something like 8 years.
Yikes. God damn.
Yeah, we were in junior high, too.
God, they didn't fuck around back then, did they, man? Jesus.
No.
Holy shit. Man.
I remember when they dragged him out of school.
Can you imagine if these fucking youngins nowadays had to look at consequences like that in their lives, man? I just can't. I can just see them just like just bitching and moaning all the way. It would probably get most of them killed.
Yeah. Well, I found out something interesting. I've been looking into something for about 2-3 years now. One of the hats I wear is I'm a journalist, and Six knows about this because I've told him in depth. There was a lot of shady shit going on around my neighborhood, and I kept thinking that the cops were in on it. Oh, they were in on it, all right. Did you see the thing that Limbaugh put out? I put it up in my Discord earlier. Obama's administration was paying the cops to look the other way with these kids.
Yes, I just saw something on that like yesterday. Okay, keep talking, man. This is this will piss you off.
Check this out. In right here in my neighborhood in Lindenhurst, New York, about I think it was last June, a couple of kids were I think they were El Salvadorian, up over in what's called Fireman's Park. It's the memorial park we have for the fallen firefighters in the neighborhood. There's a bunch of them around. But anyway, they mugged this kid and they beat him ugly. And then they went back up into the school. The principal shit-canned it and said that they were in the school the whole time taking a test.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this kid's all fucked up from it now. But that's the thing. This is legit because that piece of shit, Obama, he signed that paper. So now these fucking kids, they don't get prosecuted because it can fuck up their future. So that's why these little bastards are even worse. That's one of the reasons that I was blaming it on social media. I was blaming it on the phones. These little pukes weren't getting prosecuted for shit. They weren't even getting arrested.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Proverbs 13:24. He that spareth the rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chastiseth.
Amen to that.
Translate that for me.
He who spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them.
So, in other words, those who don't discipline them breed brats, and those that do have actually courteous children, usually.
Right.
Yes.
Pretty much.
I had my ass whipped when I was a kid, and I say,
"Oh yeah,
yes, ma'am." Still,
I had a healthy fear of hairbrushes.
There you go.
When we were in public, when I was with my father, unless someone spoke to me, I was quiet. That's how he had me trained, and that was it.
I think I only had to be smacked once with the hairbrush to get the picture.
I didn't have to get really smacked around. My father was like the wrath of God Almighty come down off the mountain. Seriously.
Dude. That's that Sicilian love, man.
Oh, yeah. They have...
my mom could come up with some vindictive ways, and my grandmother too.
So, bit of roboting there.
Yeah, you roboting a bit there, Tara.
We heard grandma, and I think that's the only thing that I understood.
Is that better?
Not really. The age of Terra.
You know, you were just making me think about it, actually, prostate.
Hop out and restart. I'll jump you back in.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, thanks, PT. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, man. You know, you remind me of a story really quick. I'll tell you about prostate. My father told me about it when I was a boy. Tara, really quick.
Okay, how's this?
Oh,
beautiful. Beautiful.
Excellent.
Yeah. Perfect timing, Tara. I was just about to tell IRATE Prostate a story about from when my father told me when I was a kid. When he was a young man in Brooklyn in the 50s, there was this little old man sitting up on the edge of the driveway. He was right off the boat from the old country. Now, he lived there with, I think he had like 3 or 4 sons. And he'd sit out on the edge of the driveway with his cane. And he had a whistle around his neck. And he would blow the whistle. And no matter where they were in the house, one of his sons would come out to the edge of the driveway to see what he needed. So one day, the 4 sons go fishing. And they leave the old man out there. And none of them had the good common sense to tell the old man they went fishing. So the old man's out there all day blowing on this whistle. None of his sons are coming. So they come home. Now, these guys are big guys. These guys, from what my father told me, they were about my size. And so they come home and, oh, hey, Pop, look at all this fish that we caught. And so the old man's sitting there and he's got this look on his face that can melt ice. And he goes like this. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to sit here all of them a day. I'm going to blow with a whistle. You know where to come. Why you know where to come? And so they're like, well, Pop, we were fishing. Oh, you were the fishing. Oh, you was a fishing. Oh, okay, you was a fishing. Let me see you the fish. So he hands him the fish, and he takes the fish and hauls off and starts smacking the shit out of these 4 boys with the fish. Some of the bitch. If I'm out of here, and I'm with the whistle, you come here, I don't care if you was a fishing. And he's smacking the fuck out of these grown guys. Pop, please, Pop, and smacking the shit out of them with the fish.
I love that story.
That's classic.
Oh yeah.
I love
you don't see child rearing like that no more.
No.
No, you really don't.
Negative.
You know, one thing I did see though, I will tell you, in my lifetime, when I was a boy, and anyone hearing the sound of my voice, if you're younger, you better realize how good you got it. When I was a kid, I was out front. I was chasing after lightning bugs. That's the local parlance for fireflies. So I'm out front and I'm chasing lightning bugs. I was maybe 5, 6 years old. This is in the 80s. I think Reagan's first term. And these cops pull up down the block. And they got this boy in handcuffs. And they lead him up to the door and they knock on the door. And the father comes to the door. They're talking to the father. They take the cuffs off the boy. They get back in the car. They got their coffee and their sandwiches. And they're sitting there having their sandwiches and their coffee. And they're watching his father beat the living piss out of this boy up and down the lawn. He must have beat this kid for at least a good solid 10 minutes straight, like it was free. These cops didn't do nothing. You don't see that no more, and that's the problem.
Yup.
Spare the rod and spoil the child.
Mm-hmm. You know, when I was a kid, my father smacked the hell out of me for something. A little bit later on, he came in, he smacked me upside the head, and I gave him this look. He's like, you know, you haven't done anything in a few hours. So.
This is for your next one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel you.
So there won't be a next one.
Yeah.
I've been there, man. Oh, it's like my sister had a way of like everything she did, she pinned it on me, and she was goddamn good at it. I mean, good. She's the one I called the hammer, but that's for a completely different reason. But but every time, man, she would do her stuff, I would get the ass beating for it, and I could never convince them that I didn't do it, you know, because of all the shit that I'd done in the past. So
that is an expert level frame up. That's better than the cat biting everything in the dog.
Canny, man. Damn.
Yeah.
You know, Six, you'll understand this because you're of Mexican descent. So you know how Mexican families have that lovely thing that they do where the entire family, uncles, aunts, older cousins will beat the shit out of you if you're out of line.
Right. Yeah.
They can't hold a candle to the Sicilians. Holy shit, are these people violent? My uncle Dominic, may he rest in peace. I told Six this story, but Prostate, you'll appreciate this. Uncle Dominic, my godfather, he was a deacon in the church over in the diocese in Brooklyn, and he was only 4'6", maybe 4'8". I'm not sure, but he was just tall enough to get into the service in World War II. And he calls me over to him one day, and he goes like this. He goes, "Figu, come here. I want to ask you something." I go, "Okay, Uncle Danny." What he liked to be called Dan. I go, "Okay, Uncle Danny, what's the matter?" He goes, "Let me ask you something. You ever going to get one of those ridiculous looking mohawks?" I go, "No, I'm not planning on getting a mohawk." He says, "Let me tell you something. My son ever gets a mohawk, I'll beat the shit out of him twice. Once for getting that haircut, and the second time for making me beat the shit out of him the first time."
Nice.
Yeah, that's something that it's a cultural thing because this is something that I had to learn that well with the Latino families, it's very much that everybody kind of shares shares dibs as far as the discipline goes. If you're out of line, then your uncle can discipline you, your aunt can discipline you, your cousin can discipline you, and so on and so forth down the line. If somebody sees you acting up, you get disciplined by that person. There's no questions asked and not a single eyebrow raised. Now, when it comes to white families, they're a little more. There's delegation. I think that's the word that I want to use. Only on when it comes to discipline, the mother is usually the first in line as far as the discipline goes. If you're an uncle or if you're a cousin or something, don't you dare discipline the kid. Don't you dare. That's the only privileges for disciplining belong to the mother, or when the father gets home, the father will discipline. So this you're stepping out of line if you're overstepping your authority if you try to discipline. No, that's not always true, but it's more common.
Look, I've said it before, and I don't mean it with any offense. I got nothing against them. I mean, hell, we have them on here on the stream with us right now, but you Anglos are weird with the way you raise your kids. I'm sorry. You guys really got to beat the hell out of them more. Seriously, that timeout shit is strange.
There's one benefit to sharing disciplinary privileges is that you don't know where that disciplinary stuff is going to come from because, the nearest adult could tan your ass.
Yep.
I see benefits to that. Share the disciplinary load.
Man.
Don't just have two designated people, the mom and the dad, be the issuers of discipline.
Oh no, man, no. Our whole fucking neighborhood, man. If you fucked up, whatever mother was in the vicinity, it was her job to beat your ass. And,
nice.
and the other parents would say, "Okay, thanks for bringing this to my attention," and then they'd beat your ass. So and I grew up in liberal Nashville, Tennessee, as a young child, and they weren't having it, man. They did not play. Nope. Yeah. And then there's the old grandmother thing. Even grandmother, lovely, sweet grandmother, go get me a Switch. No. And you'd have to get her one of those that's like real flexible and wispy and shit, just like.
Right? And if you got the wrong one, you got hit twice as many times.
No, you have to go back and keep picking them until you got the right one, man. And by the time you've got the right one, you're crying, and then you'd get it. And I was like, God, it was torture. Oh, I love my family.
You know, I
Well,
never got to switch from grandma. My grandmother
God love her.
frightened the shit out of me. To give you an idea, she looked just like the same actress who was Ma Fratelli in the Goonies.
Oh,
But
Anne
she
Ramsey.
yeah, and she sounded like Linda Blair from The Exorcist.
oh shit.
Oh, whoa.
Now, this was my mother's mother, so she had a slight brogue. So just picture that chick from The Exorcist with an Irish brogue, and you get an idea what I dealt with as a boy.
Demonic leprechaun.
Yeah, I go over there like, hi, Grandma, how are you? I'd be good. How are you, me boy? Oh. Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
Scooby, you've got to hang with drinks with friends with us. Sometimes there's this Irish guy that hangs with us named Alfred and shit. And all that stuff that we were told, like, if your nose itches, somebody's coming. If your hand's itching, you're going to get some money. That kind of shit. All that Irish shit. It's like we were like talking about that kind of stuff. Because I heard it because my grandmother's family, they were, and my mom, all her side are all pure Irish immigrants that ended up in fucking bumfuck Alabama at a textile factory. And
Ah.
I think it's a lot of that stems from Catholicism because
Yeah. It's left
every
and
time I
right.
hung out with every time I hung out with friends with who from Catholic families, there would always be these strange little superstitions. I would go there, and there was either lemons or onions under the bed, and I would ask him, what's with the lemons and the onions? It's for bad spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And the eggs.
That's almost gypsy shit there, man. Wow.
If you get what's called the ojos, it's the evil eye.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to use the egg to absorb the bad voodoo. I mean, there's a lot of different little superstitions, but
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's kind of neat in a way, but it's like as the generations get older and older, that kind of shit just kind of falls by the wayside and stuff, and it kind of.
I know most of it still.
Yeah, me too. Man.
My mother's parents were actually from Ireland. My grandfather actually snuck in. My mother's an anchor baby.
Oh, wow.
They deported him in front of her when she was a girl. That's why she's afraid of the government. But what you were talking about before, it varies with left and right. If your right hand is itching, it means you're going to get money. Oh, speak of the devil, and up she pops.
Okay.
Ma, we were just talking about like the old Irish folk beliefs that, the stuff you believe in from when you were younger. Like the thing with the right hand itches, you're getting money. Your left hand itches, you got to pay it out. Yeah, the right ear itches, they're saying good things. Your left ear itches, they're saying bad.
That's exactly what Alfred said.
Yeah, your right foot itches, you're going to go on a good journey. Your left foot itches, you're going to go on one you don't want to take. That's basically how it goes.
Wow, my left foot itches all the time.
Yeah, that means you're taking journeys you don't like. What'd you just say was the last one, Ma? Oh. Yeah, my mother's
Hi,
family
Ma.
is actually... Everyone says hello, Ma.
100% Irish.
Yeah, no, I know. I was telling them that you're Irish. Yeah, my mother's family is actually kitchen Irish. When I say kitchen Irish, I mean from Hell's Kitchen.
Ah, oh, the real
Daredevil territory.
I'm a third Irish.
Oh yeah, my mother's family. When they moved into the apartment, and there was what would you call it? Like a hallway. It was they call those railroad rooms. They just all run off of each room runs after the other. But when you first came in, there was a little like a hallway, and every time they stepped over it, she had 5 brothers and 1 sister. They would hear like bells. When their father died, it was driving the mother crazy, so they broke the floor. It was wooden, and they pulled it up, and it was a skeleton of a guy with a bullet in his head, because you could see the hole and they saw the bullet, and they just put the boards right back and kept living there. And
the bullet rolling around in his skull. That was the bells they heard jingling.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Hell's Kitchen.
I gotta say, it's always a pleasure to hear from Mama Scooby.
Ma, the next 6 minutes says it's always a pleasure to hear from you.
Oh, well, thank him very much. He's a gentleman and scholar.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
You're very welcome.
A scholar.
Oh, Patches, you want to go outside and chase the homeless people? Go ahead.
Patches.
I love my pooch. He's a good mutt.
That is a sweet dog.
Oh, yeah. He's half pug
I'm
and
gonna
half
steal your
pit bull.
dog.
No, you can't steal him. He's like my child. Seriously.
I'll give you Katrina's black lab.
Nah. You could offer me Katrina. That wouldn't do it. Seriously.
You could offer me an identical tabby cat, but I wouldn't fork over my kitty.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade my dog for anything.
It's hard to get identical tortoise shells because their fur patterns are so varied. They're kind of like wood grain. That's it.
You know,
a lot of tabbies look alike.
I actually am glad we're talking about this because I can segue into something really quick here. Did you guys hear about Barbara Streisand cloning her dogs?
What?
You didn't hear about this? It was all over the news. Barbara Streisand's dog died last year. She has 2 dogs. They're both clones of that dog.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. And Smirt, if you're listening, you owe me $50. I told you that you'd be able to clone dogs within the next year.
Well, I hope they.
Money.
Well, I hope they don't.
They got the technology.
I hope they're not walking around with that white plate armor carrying laser blasters.
Well, this is actually kind of a good thing because, you know, dogs don't live forever. And in 10, 15 years, God willing, if I got the bread, I can always bring Patches back.
Oh, you know, this is like totally like random and shit, but I just remembered, I found out today they are releasing a new BattleTech game.
Are they?
Really?
Yeah, within the next couple of months. So Geek Thulu told me about it when I was on the server earlier, man, and he said he sent me a link to the thing, and I'll try to put it in the description when I finish. But yeah, I'm excited about it. It's last time I had really a lot of fun playing any game besides Overkill, and that's another story. It was Mech Warrior 3, man, and I was doing like tournament like level gaming and shit with this team called Kampftruppen, and it was the funniest bunch of dudes, mostly kids and shit.
Hey. Got me all excited. I thought you said they were releasing a new Battletoads.
No, BattleTech.
Well, if they release a new Battletoads, I hope they think
motherfucker working. Testing.
Yeah, we can hear you.
They just got a lot more Chicago.
All right, cool. How's the echo?
Bearable.
Hiya, Mr. B.
Hey, Harley.
Don't let Mr. J hear that.
He is Mr. J.
Oh. Ugh.
Yeah, it's just my other personality because I'm crazy as a motherfucker.
That's right.
I could actually picture you with all that makeup too. That's the sick part.
Now, don't think of the Jared Leto version. Think of the Batman animated series with Mark
Hamill.
The Hamill voice.
Yes.
I was actually going to say Cesar Romero.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
From the 60s Batman. And Burnside would paint over his beard.
Yeah, just like Romero did his mustache. Yeah. That man, when I was a kid and that would come on, that scared the shit. The Joker scared the fucking holy shit out of me, man. I would just be terrified watching it, just going, yes, oh yes, no.
The Riddler was kind of a spooky bastard too.
Yeah, that laugh, man, was just kind of like, kind of haunting and shit. Kind of nuts. Yeah, exactly.
I always
Riddle
thought
me
that
this,
chick was
Batman.
cool when I was a kid. I always
Frank
watched the
Gorshin,
cartoons.
that was the Riddler. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. When I was a kid, my father used to actually make me come in. Pichota, come in here. I want you to see this. And I'd go, okay. Because Cesar Romero was a paisan. So he wanted me to see that this man was on the TV. He did the same thing a lot whenever, oh God, I can't remember his last name. He used to be Zorro in the old black and whites. Guy Williams, thank you.
You used to watch the old black and white Zorro? Oh, fucking
yeah. Guy Williams and Annette Funicello, because she used to be the guest star in all of Disney's things. My father used to constantly, come in here, I want you to see, because of Frankie and Annette. Mm-hmm. You know, he was very proud of that.
Yeah.
Annette Funicello was flippin' gorgeous.
Yeah, Guy Williams was the dad on Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't, he anglicized his name.
Yeah, of course.
It was, it was Gaetano something or other.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can tell. I mean, now that you mention it, you know, it's like he had that very, very olive complexion and very handsome. Very, yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
I gotta be there by 9.
My favorite black and white show would have to be The Munsters. The Munsters was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Munsters?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I've been over where they filmed that when I was a kid. A bunch of times. I didn't realize it because the neighborhood changed so much, but you know, you'd see someplace and then you realize, you know, oh wow, this was that was the building that was in the backdrop of, you know, such and such episode. You know, I could always remember the episodes that were very Dragula heavy. You know, when Grandpa was out,
Mockingbird Lane.
Yeah. No, I'm saying when Grandpa was out whipping around in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can actually.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can actually show you guys. Maybe that's one of the videos I'll do one day. I'll go and I'll try to show you the places where you see Dragula in the old episodes, what those parts in the neighborhood look like now. Patches, what the hell are you doing?
So the birth name of Guy Williams was Armando Joseph Catalano.
Yeah, one of those nice Irish names.
My favorite would have to be Addams Family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my second favorite. It's a tie between the Addams Family and the Three Stooges.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
she's like my goddess.
Yeah, Uzi and I were talking about them the other night, and it was like, see, my favorite was Cousin It. You know, just because it was just like this thing of hair, with the hat on and shit. Yeah. I think the what is that? Snapchat stole that, I think, from Cousin.
Played by Carolyn Jones.
Yes, Carolyn Jones.
You know where she was from, though?
No.
She's from Texas.
Texas. I could see that, man. She's beautiful. See,
she's got that West Texas smile.
Yes. And
I couldn't tell because of all the hair.
You know, she got her start. She got her start with Vincent Price and the remake of House of Wax. Actually, the Vincent Price version is a remake of the '30s version. Yeah, and Jack Cassidy is in the scene with the paddles and the balls, you know, with the rubber band on them, you know, bouncing them towards because it's 3D. It was one of the early 3D movies, and and that's where she made her debut as an actress. But she was a blonde in that. Beautiful lady, beautiful. Yes.
I like the House of Wax horror movie. That was actually pretty good. That and My Bloody Valentine. Great film.
Especially when Paris Hilton gets killed.
That's
Hell yeah.
Oh, I gotta stop.
And in Repo, her face falls off.
Yeah, I gotta say, hey, thank you, Cryptic, for another tenor there. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated, man. You don't know how much that means to me, man. Thank you. But continue. It's Chaos 120.
Well, I do have another story.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's see. Interesting. Okay. Florida woman, 51, smashes a TV on the floor and viciously beats her boyfriend after he interrupted sex to check on dinner.
What?
Yep.
Wait,
Wow.
Florida woman to the rescue. A Florida woman was arrested for allegedly beating up her boyfriend because he interrupted sex to check on dinner. Teresa Warren.
I'm on her side with this one, okay? Keep going.
I'm on her side,
Warren,
too.
51,
She was
was
probably
arrested.
just about to orgasm, too.
Mac and cheese can wait. Teresa Warren, 51, was arrested by Lake County Sheriff's Office on Sunday after deputies received a call about domestic disturbance. Warren was found at Paisley Mart while her boyfriend was still at their residence in Pink Panther Road. Da-dun, 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 da-dun. Anyway.
Sorry.
Warren told officers that she and her boyfriend were drinking alcohol and having a good time when he suddenly punched her with a closed fist, showing a red mark on her left cheek. She claimed that she lost consciousness. When she woke up, she ran to her boyfriend's car and drove to the convenience store. But her boyfriend had a different story. He confirmed to the deputy that the couple was drinking alcohol, cooking, watching the NASCAR race, and having a good time. Damn, they are multitaskers. However, they started having sex.
And make pork, damn.
Yep. However, they started having sex when he remembered that he was cooking, and he went to go check on the food to make sure it didn't burn. That's when Warren smashed a TV on the floor. After he asked her what was wrong,
Do that.
she began striking him with the closed fist in his face, head, stomach, and legs. He managed to push her out of the front door and told her to leave. Warren went after him again, so he stuck his hand out to block her, which he says created the mark on her cheek. She then took his car and sped off. The boyfriend had a swollen left eye and red mark on his stomach. Warren was determined to be the primary aggressor and was subsequently arrested on a misdemeanor battery charge and taken to the Lake County Jail. Her bond remains at $2,000.
Wow.
Well, on the one hand,
I'm not that bad, but if someone did that to me, I'd be like, nope, no sex for you for like a year.
I would just, if I was in her position, I'd probably be really pissed off at him. We'd argue. I wouldn't break the TV and steal the car and do all sorts of wild shit. It's a bit of an overreaction, but then again, schmuck on the Wonder Pot shouldn't have put the food on the stove.
There's all tons of crazy shit in Florida. They have sex with alligators after doing lots of drugs.
No, I know that. I'm saying, I'm looking at it from both sides. I mean, on the one hand, she overreacted, but on the other hand, why the fuck did this idiot put food on and then decide to go, boff his old lady? What the fuck's the matter with him? Ugh.
Poor planning.
Florida. That's what's wrong.
The man got a point.
If you look at the chat, IRATE, I just timed you out for 5 minutes in the YouTube chat.
What the hell?
Groovy.
Say hi to Cody.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Here's a I like this one. Deputies, man steals woman's shorts in bizarre Lake Park trail attack. Yes. Man stole this woman's shorts.
I thought that's what you said. I was processing it.
I know. Let's see. Tampa. A bizarre attack on a park trail leaves the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office asking for your help in tracking down the suspect. It happened near Lake Park in Northdale area. Investigators say a woman was finishing up a jog and heading back to her neighborhood when a man attacked her from behind, pushed her to the ground, began taking off her clothes. Anyone that knocks you down and pulls your pants off, it doesn't take much to start figuring out what's potential next step in that particular type of scenario, said agency spokesman Corporal Larry McKinnon. However, McKinnon said the suspect grabbed the woman's shorts and took off running, waving the shorts above his head.
Wow.
Damn. Wow, that's a hell of a robbery.
That's
Yeah.
They do this over in Japan. It's called sharking. They actually go and they steal the woman's pants.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking Japanese.
Oh Lord, that's hysterical. That's so fucking hysterical.
Yeah. Quote, if it's going to be a robbery, they take some type of valuables, McKinnon said. In this case, it's a very bizarre set of circumstances. He just knocks her down, takes her shorts, and then goes off running into the woods.
Yeah, look it up. I'm being dead serious. Look it up in like a different browser window right now. Type in sharking and look at the videos. You're going to see them just women walking through parks in Japan, and somebody's like up ahead with a camera filming, and one of the friends runs up and takes the woman's pants and runs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Investigators said this might not be the first time the suspect went after a jogger. Last month, they said a woman reported being grabbed by the arm in this very same section of the trail. If it is the same person, McKen said his behavior is escalating, meaning the next victim could face worse. The man is described as 25 to 30 years old, about 5'1", which would lend some evidence that, hey, maybe this is a Japanese guy. With a stocky build and brown hair, he was last seen wearing a dark-colored short-sleeve shirt and khaki pants. Investigators also believe the man may live in the area. They are asking neighbors to check their home surveillance video and report any suspicious activity.
I'm calling it right now. They're going to find this guy. His name's going to be something like Fujimoto Ichihara.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yes, and we go back to that famous quote that, what is it, Italians eat what people in hentai fuck?
Yes, Sicilians eat what people in hentai fuck. Yeah, but
they're going to track this guy down, and hanging on his wall in a cheap dollar store frame is going to be this woman's shorts.
Man. What can you expect from a country that gives you shit like Pokemon and Godzilla?
Pokemon go to the polls.
Yeah, seriously. Gigantic lizard that chases after people.
Oh, I'm gonna bounce out. Tonkasaw just went live on his secondary account with a YouTube video called "Update of the Purge." So
yeah, he'll be. I was gonna announce it when we end, but yeah, he's streaming with Sinatra and Andy. And I'm sure they'll be going for quite a while, because I'm sure Andy's like pissed off, met on a wet hornet, as we say. But thanks, BTK. We'll see you in the funny papers, as they say, right?
Yeah, I'll either be in the obituaries, the arrests, or the comics.
That's right.
See you in the funny papers, man.
Take it easy.
Nobody ever says that anymore. I miss
what?
that.
See you in the funny papers?
See you in the funny papers. Yeah, I thought I would resurrect that one the other day. I was like, it's time.
That needs to make a comeback.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, well, no one says anything anymore, Six, because the liberals run everything and they suck.
Mm-hmm. Control freaks are gonna control freak.
Yeah.
Okay. This next article's for you here, Scoob.
Oh.
Man with red sauce on face charged with meatball theft.
You bastard.
Oh, man, I love you, dude. Okay. Police say a damning clue led to the arrest of a Pennsylvania man charged with stealing a pot of meatballs. Red sauce smeared on his face and clothes. Authorities in Luzerne County have charged 48-year-old Lehman Glenn Robert Potter with burglary, criminal trespass, and theft by unlawful taking or allegedly swiping a pot of meatballs from a man's garage on Monday. Police say the victim reported his meatballs missing and told officers around 2:30 p.m. Monday he saw Potter standing in front of his house with red sauce on his face and clothes. the pot was found on the street. It's unclear if Potter washed the sauce off or he was arrested a short time later. I can't keep it together. Potter's attorney did not immediately respond to a voicemail seeking comment.
Wow.
Oh, that was a saucy story.
Who the fuck steals and eats something out of somebody's garage? I mean,
apparently they do it in Pennsylvania.
You know, there is a very large Italian community in Pennsylvania. I'm picturing these old ginzos, like, you know, in their like 60s or 70s, like old men. One's in the fucking garage cooking the sauce. The other one's like across the street in the bushes watching, waiting for him to go inside so he can steal.
Oh my gosh.
I would have given Evan anything to have been with the cops on that call.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. Burnside. Oh, you missed a good one, man. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm crying.
That really just made my evening complete.
Oh man.
I swear Discord hates me. It just kicked me out of the chat.
Oh man.
What's
So
that?
you missed the meatballs.
Oh, you talking about this one, Tara?
Do what?
Are you talking about the voice chat?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got it pulled up, and if anything happens, I'll yank everybody in. So I'm modding now.
Academic. That's a spicy meatball.
I love that, man. That's one of the greatest commercials, you know, of history.
That's a spicy meatball.
Oh, beep. Take 4. That's a meatball. Take 3. Take 8.
Oh man.
Stuff gets
I can just, can you, seriously, can you imagine, like, you're outside, it's a nice day, you go inside, you come out, your fucking shit is gone, there's a guy standing on the edge of your lawn.
A big rack of ribs. Come back the ribs. There's a guy across the street covered in barbecue sauce.
My uncle would be like, I hope you like fish chowder.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
because he's not allowed to cook that shit in the house.
You know, and I'm not saying this trying to be funny, though, but he stole this guy's thing of Sunday sauce and meatballs. He's really lucky he didn't get shot. And I'm not saying that being flippant.
I know, damn.
You gotta understand how these old guineas are with the red lead. You don't fuck with it.
Oh man.
Oh,
crazy.
That's too funny.
Oh my gosh. Colleen, thank you for hunting that one down. Damn.
Yeah. Meatball thief.
Okay,
she went to the bedroom later chuckling like an idiot. My wife's gonna think I'm retarded.
Oh my gosh. Hey, we have another Florida man story, I think.
Oh, beautiful.
This one's from the Palm Beach Post. Oh, shit. Just in. Man attacks woman with chainsaw and lantana.
Okay. Hope she's okay.
A woman was the victim of an unprovoked attack Tuesday morning by a man wielding a chainsaw, Lantana Police Chief Sean Scheller said. The unidentified woman, who appeared to be in her 60s, underwent surgery, but her wounds are not life-threatening, Scheller said. The woman was walking west on the 1200 block of, I'm going to butcher this, Hypuxalo Road in front of the Super 8 Motel at about 7:30 a.m. when the attacker jumped out from behind the bushes and knocked her to the ground. Juan Carlos Cabrero Jr., will face an attempted first-degree murder charge, Schiller said. He was being booked to the Palm Beach County Jail on Tuesday afternoon. The woman told the police officers she thought Cabrera was a landscaper because he was holding a chainsaw. Police say there is no connection between Cabrera and the victim. It's a random act. To be targeted like that is a disgrace. During the questioning by investigators, Cabrera allegedly said he saw the victim, then decided, I'm going to end this woman's life. Cabrera was staying at the Super 8 motel, Schiller said. Police requested a warrant to search the room. The room's contents might provide motivation behind the attack. Said. Several people got out of their cars to help the woman after she was attacked, Schiller said. She sustained slash wounds to her chest and hands. Damn. Cabrera was arrested close to the scene of the incident and did not resist the officers, Schiller said. The chief said he did not know if Cabrera was under the influence of any drug or was suffering from mental illness. Maybe all of the above. Damn. Courts showed that Cabrera had 2 misdemeanor arrests, both in the town of Palm Beach, and each for possession of marijuana and possession of drug paraphernalia. Cabrera was arrested December 30th after he was found to have loose marijuana on his lap during a traffic stop on the 3200 block of Ocean Boulevard. Cabrera pleaded guilty to the marijuana charge in January and paid $238 in court charges. Cabrera was also arrested on those charges in December 2015 following another traffic stop on the 2800 block of South Ocean Boulevard. The possession of marijuana and paraphernalia charges were dropped about a month later. In the 2015 arrest report, Cabrera listed his occupation as a groundsman for a landscaping company. Among the photos shown in his public Facebook page is one posted August 25th, 2015, showing Cabrera holding a chainsaw in his right hand while standing in front of a bucket truck. Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is just wow.
Did they give a reason why this nutty bastard was chasing people?
He just saw her walking by and thought to himself, I am going to end this woman's life. That's what crazy people, that's what pops into their head.
Huh.
This is just, I believe it's just a clear-cut case of pure crazy.
Yep, that pops into my head quite often. I just don't act on it.
Well, that's a difference between fantasizing about crazy and crazy. This guy was crazy.
Sorry about that there, guys.
Well, you got here just in time, Burnside. You got here just in time. You did miss the meatball story. Scooby can tell you about that later, but this story, this is.
I love food.
This is a really interesting one. Prolific feminist erotica author in California arrested for sex ring with her son.
Holy shit.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah. A somewhat strange and infinitely disturbing situation to report coming out of the North Bay area in Santa Rosa, California, where a prolific feminist erotica novel author, along with her son, have now been arrested for running a sex ring out of their home.
Oh
Authorities say that the
Wow.
feminist erotica writer, 59-year-old Faye Ruth Romsberg, and her 38-year-old son, David Scott Romsberg, were eerily similar to pimps organizing and operating a prostitution ring that consisted of 150 women. The duo would lure the women through various promises of security and wealth, then arrange for clients to have sex with the women at one of the 3 properties owned by the pair. The brothels consisted of numerous locations, including one in the 4000 block of Snyder Lane in Santa Rosa, according to the Press Democrat. The second location used by the pair for the prostitution scheme was also in Santa Rosa on the 2300 block of Alvarado Avenue. The investigation first began into the pair last year when the Rohnert Park Police Department received an anonymous tip that a third location in Rohnert Park may have been connected to an underground sex trafficking ring, according to police. Santa Rosa Police Lieutenant John Cregan said was also investigating the residences in Santa Rosa after neighbors called in complaints about a suspected brothel in the neighborhood. During that investigation, officers attempted to enter the residence but were denied entry. The Romsburg family suggesting they ran a photography business for models inside the home.
That's what they
Brothel.
call it.
Wow.
Photography business.
Jeez.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
We worked the information we had, but we never got enough for probable cause for a warrant, Cregan said. I can understand some of the frustration in the neighborhood. We could have had a more assertive role on this.
So can we safely say this dude is a motherfucker?
Well, he's not really a motherfucker. He's facilitating the fucking of other women on his mother's behalf.
That sounds just as awkward as him being an actual motherfucker.
Yeah,
he's right, man.
He's a motherfucking pimp.
Oh, dude.
I've heard some weird shit. I've read some weird shit. You know what? This is pretty far up there on the weird shit list I got.
Damn.
Well, here's the altruist here. I may go to prison, Romsburg said, but I've only helped women by giving them a safe place to live. And a safe place for guys to bang them.
Wow. I can't get past this. Just unbelievable, the audacity.
Yeah.
I don't know. Half of these stories make you lose faith in humanity, then the other half rekindles them. So you got something that'll give me faith in humanity again there, Six?
Let's see. Colleen's got a bit of a... I don't know if this is going to restore your faith in humanity, but it's kind of a funny story.
Okay.
It's a Florida woman story. She seems to have used $49,000 in pennies to pay a water bill.
God bless her.
That's a lot of copper. Oh, wow. Okay, a Florida woman who says the city of Deltona is charging her for water she isn't using decided to pay her outstanding bill using 49,369 pennies to make a point. So,
Good woman. Hell yeah.
So 50,000.
Yeah.
So that works out to what? Around $500?
Yeah, about $500 I was going to say.
Let's see, Dana McCool drove up to the Deltona water to pay the $439 bill. So I was close.
Give me 1 second.
This is how we peacefully protest, she said in a Facebook Live video, which has gone viral. The video shows McCool dragging a wheelbarrow filled with bags of pennies and entering the building. Quote, I am here to pay for the bill, and you take cash, correct? She is heard telling the employee at the counter. According to McCool, the city has been incorrectly charging her for water she is not using. She said she has been fighting the municipality for overcharging, even after a leak was fixed months ago. Quote, I just wanted to make a statement. I want other people to come forward that has this bill. This is a far-reaching issue, McCool told WFTV. Officials with the city of Deltona have said if customers have concern about high water bills, they can work with the city to check for leaks. The city's water department accepted McCool's cash payment and spent nearly 3 hours counting the pennies. Oh my gosh. Each of those pennies are representing a resident that needs a voice, she told WFTV. Wow.
That's pretty deep, man.
That is. That is, wow. That's a lot of copper.
I have been trying to find Cam, and I can't find him. How do I find Cam? Please help me.
So
Cam?
War Fox?
Oh, Cass.
Cass.
Fuck. Of course. I've been spelling that wrong. Oh,
I got him.
Sorry, Cass. You know, I'm so old I can't get embarrassed anymore, you know? It's just like, I'm just fucking brain dead. Move the
Don't
fuck
worry,
on.
man.
Move
One
the
of
fuck
those
on.
things, man. One of them things.
Oh, I hope the kid forgives me. He's awesome. I need to
Ain't
hear
no
Bernie.
shit. I can't wait for the breadlines jokes.
There we go. I sent him a link.
And I've been working on none other than our former president, the guy with the ears. Getting closer, getting a little bit better,
Obama.
but maybe one day we will all learn how to live in harmony with each other. And my pockets are,
I swear,
never empty.
every president we've had that I can remember has had some sort of weird speech impediment.
Well, they just speak so much that, man, you just can't stop. You know, they're going to talk and talk and talk until they're, they're done talked out. And then before you know it, the
Fucking Bill Clinton. Oh my God.
The second black president becomes the first black president. I mean, shit, it's just fucking crazy.
You even got the laugh down.
Clinton was, I hate, how it turned out with Clinton, because Reagan was my favorite president. He was like my grandfather when I was a kid. But when I was a kid in high school and college and Clinton was president, oh man. I mean, the guy fucking oozed cool. You'd see him in interviews, and people would go up to him and they're like, Mr. President, it's a real honor to meet you, sir. It's a real privilege and a real pleasure. And he'd be like, oh hell, son, just call me Bubba. And I love that about him. He was just so cool. He was basically like Kennedy after a bong rip.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It was the old, come on, man. Listen, we're going to take let's go get a couple bears, look for some teddies, man. I got to see some big ass teddies in my face.
You remember when he used to actually have them close down the highway so he could land Air Force One and go get ribs?
Man, I love it.
That sounds fucking hysterical. I wish I could do that shit.
I got the best cardiac care in the United States. I don't give a shit. Give me that stuff, man. Load me up, baby.
You gotta give him credit though. He
did a lot, and he got the Congress to cooperate just like Reagan did, and so he was a decent president. He is not going to go down as the worst president. It's going to be a tie between Barrio and Carter in my book, at least. I think that when all is said and done, that the current president may end up a little bit higher on the totem pole than people give him credit for. So I believe in 4-day chess.
Yeah, same
I think our current president's pretty decent. I mean, I don't think the whole bump stock thing that he just put in, but then again, bump stocks are kind of a joke.
Come on, dude. That's a hand job, for the idiots, man. That's nothing. Bump stocks are nothing.
That's the same as if he was going to go after the slings that have the bullet holsters like built into them.
Right.
It's something
like bandoliers.
Right. Yeah. Right. Thank you. He's pleasing the plebs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just don't agree with it because, I'm just like,
of course you don't agree with it because you got a brain in your head. That's why you don't agree with it. He's doing this because it's to placate the morons. And remember what he said? He's going to look into it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he's talking. And this is the thing. Any gun control legislation that they hand down, I have to see it when it comes down because the old man is wily. What if he's giving them a concession? What is he getting in return? And if there is a gun control that he puts in, if the legislation is permanent, then I'd be alarmed. But if it's a temporary legislation, so it's a belt tightener. What are we getting in return? That's what you got to think.
I don't think they're going to give us much in return, man. I mean, you see how these assholes are acting. They're complete fucking animals. You know,
yeah, but this is the thing. The Democrats tend to be a little bit on the dumb side.
They're doing their dragnet censorship bullshit and all that, and they're still going, oh, we need to kill more Republicans and do this crazy-ass thing. And here, cut your genitals off and wave them around and see you bleed out.
Well, we have to see what happens. I want to see what happens in the next 90 days. I'm a little bit concerned myself with the old man going after guns, you know, because I hate saying it. We are New Yorkers, and we don't do guns like that over here. That's probably why he wouldn't see it as a big deal. You know, that's part of the thing. That's my concern. I'm hoping he remembers, you know, this. He's not just the president of New York, you know, he's president of the rest of the country. So just keep it in mind, Mr. President, you know, rest of the country, they ain't like us. They like their guns. So just make sure that, you know, we got to do right by everybody.
Yeah.
That's my main concern. But I'm not too worried, like I said.
I'm nervous about it because I think giving these assholes anything to work with, they're going to run 5,000 miles with it because I think they're that batshit crazy at this point.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. They are.
Yeah, but the one thing, man, is that the Republic, the R's,
like
okay.
If our adversaries were more intelligent and civilized, I would see it as something absolutely pragmatic because I know he's trying to be pragmatic. But I think these blocks aren't going to appreciate it.
Well,
I don't think anything's going to come major of it. To be honest with you, I'm not scared of that. It's just it's like the abortion thing. Nothing's going to change because it's too entrenched. The way that things are balanced, it's not just the gun lobby, but there's all kinds of money, you know, on both sides of the aisle that are going to ensure that we have our guns because it's in the goddamn Constitution, and you know. It's all, and it's when you get down to it. I mean, why take something that makes so much money off the table? It's just stupid, you know. That's the way I see it.
Well, yeah. You got to look at it the way, like around here, these people are literally so fucking terrified of guns. You got to see when I talk to these kids in the college, their eyes get enormous when I try to explain to them how the Second Amendment works.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think I was telling them how their parents conceived them, the look I get, you know? That's the thing. A lot of these people around here, that's why I keep telling people all the time. I was talking to a few of the kids in my Discord earlier, and they're talking about the gun laws and the ages. I said, look, if they want to put a federal gun age, okay, instead of raising it to 21 federally, lower it to 12. Let the states adjust it accordingly.
You know,
honestly, I think.
Go ahead, man. I like that.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I was telling this kid the other day, like he's sitting there and he's talking to me about this, and I said to him, I said, you know, the reason that you guys are all scared of guns and mystified, I said, is because it's like a fucking unicorn. You've never seen it before in person. I said, that's the reason when you guys finally hold one in your hands, you think you're holding a fucking Harry Potter wand. Seriously, it's because it's been mystified so much, and there's so much mystique that's been draped on it. It's a gun, not a dinosaur. But they treat it the same way because it's something that's just as unique to them because they've never seen it. Think about it. I want every one of you that's on the stream right now, think about how old you were the first time you ever held a gun, handled a gun, looked at a gun. I am in school with kids in their early 20s who have never seen a gun except for on a cop's sidearm.
Right.
Wow. They need to get a life.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's an interesting way to look at it, though, and to put it. I appreciate that now, man, because you know it's like I was introduced to my dad had a little Saturday night 25. And he took me down to this river, and when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and taught me how to shoot, and and I was good at it, and and then next thing I'm firing 12 gauge slug, You know, I didn't, of course, didn't hold it up against my shoulder properly, and it fucking bruised me for a month. But yeah,
Yeah, the first time I ever fired a 12 gauge, that's what happened to me.
yeah, exactly. But you know, it's like that makes a lot more sense though. It's like, you know, it's like swimming. You know, a lot of city kids they're terrified of water because they don't they don't know how to swim and shit. And I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, and you got to look at it like they're getting reinforced because you're here now. Think about this: New York is a bubble, and you have millions of people here you're in the world's worst echo chamber because you have millions of people who all agree guns are bad. So if every person you can meet throughout your entire life agrees with you, you're going to think that people who live in other parts of the country are crazy. That's the problem you have with these New Yorkers, is because they all are shit terrified of guns, because the only times they actually ever see guns out in the streets are when criminals are using them, because no one owns guns, and the only time you see them in New York is when somebody is running through the streets doing wild out shit, because, you know, they think, okay, I'm in the Big Apple, I'm going to act like a lunatic. So you get these like rare instances of like bold daylight robberies and shit of that nature, and it scares the fuck out the populace. Cuomo comes out looking all wrinkly, and he fucking goes on about how we're going to take more of your shit away now because some guy came in here from Jersey, but we're going to punish you. So but everyone agrees with it. Like, I was telling my my wife's aunt the other day about her son, her nephew, her niece's husband. He was running for New York State Assembly. We were at a barbecue a few years ago, and his wife-to-be at the time was trying to do something, so I reached and said, here, and I reached over by my sheath, and I handed her my utility knife. This fucking guy started turning sheet white and sweating. Hey, what's that all about? Oh, wow. I go, what's what all about? That knife. Huh? Why do you carry a knife? Are you putting me the fuck on? No, why do you carry a knife? In case I need to use it. It's a utility knife. Oh, well, that seems violent to me. These are the fucking people that are trying to run the country. A Victorinox buck knife is violence.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Then no, that's insane. It's beyond crazy.
And it's spread. I grew up around academics, so I know a lot of their very undeveloped attitudes as far as firearms go. I happened to mention that I was going to be joining a gun club, and I happened to mention that around this guy. I'd known him for years and years and years. He was a college professor, and I kind of heard him mutter under his breath, "What are you going to go knock over a bank?" Yeah.
I don't understand people who think like that. You know, I
mean,
remember
it's like they're just, you know, it's like they're just cutting loose with a fart. They don't give a fuck. You know, it's like, I'm going to throw my politics at you no matter what you think about it. You know, I'm going to cast judgment on your ass. It's almost like being in the South and like being in a biracial relationship, or even like, you know, buying beer in front of a fucking preacher down here. You know, you get that look of judgment. You know, oh, you're going to drink beer. You know, that fucking,
the thing that bothers.
Go ahead.
The thing that bothers me about it, though, is it used to be considered, you know, marksmanship was one of like the cornerstones of like gentleman behavior, along with like pugilism, archery. This is like, you know, this was supposed to be like some sophisticated shit. Like, this is stuff like, you know, the gentlemen did. You know, guys sitting around, they're sniffing stuff, you know, like slapping each other with gloves and shit, you know, like real aristocrats. Well, these guys also got down with like guns and knives and fucking boxing and shit. And now, all of a sudden, oh, guns are bad. Really? All right. because it fell out of vote with them.
It's something that the old aristocracy, truly respectable, used to do. Like they used to have clubs and organizations where they'd go hunting, shooting, and stuff like that.
I want to give an official hello to Goat Man. Yes.
Hey, what up, man?
Hey, Goat Man.
How you doing?
Yeah. He's one of my
Greetings, Lord of Goats. Beware of ISIS. They'll want to fornicate with you.
Just don't let them get behind you, man. You'll be all right.
Never turn your back on ISIS if you have fluffy white wool.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to somebody the other day up at the college, and I had completely forgotten about this. And what it was, this guy was a cop. He was NYPD, and he was telling me about it. And he's like, "You remember?" I said, "I completely forgot about that." Back when we had a Republican governor, and we had like a Republican majority Senate, and I'm going back like about 20 years ago now. We were actually going to get gun ranges at the colleges and teach the kids marksmanship. And I remember that's when these liberals first started with their shit, that fucking shitbag Chuck Schumer, him and his fucking posse. And it is because, and I will say this, these people are fucking weaklings. They're sniveling cowards. They want to control us. And they're subhuman mutants that can't handle a firearm on their own, so they'd rather take ours away and have their hired goons push us around. That's exactly what it is. I've met Chuck Schumer in person. I've shook the man's hand. I looked him in the fucking eye. He's pure evil. If he was to burst into flames in front of me, I'd rush as fast as I could to wrap one up just so I could catch a light. Seriously, these people, I don't like to judge nobody, but they got no soul. These fucking whatever they are. I look, I'm a progressive liberal from New York. These people are not progressive or liberal. They're fucking insane. They want to take our guns away. They want to friggin' take our rights away.
Authoritarian control
just
freaks.
like Alex Jones and David Icke said, they're unholy, evil, transdimensional, demonic reptile people.
Ugh, they're fucking disgusting.
Authoritarian control freaks.
Yeah. Oh, I actually, you're going to see. I'll tell you guys when we get off stream, or maybe even later, because I'm probably, no, it's 5-2. I guess I'll hang out till the end. But yeah, I got a video I'm going to be shooting. I'll tell you guys about it off stream. Yeah, you'll get a kick out of it. Trust me. Believe me. Yeah, it's going to get me some heat, but it'll be worth it. Give me 1 second.
Boobies.
Yeah, sorry, I muted it. Prostate, what are you doing, bro?
I was on. I'm sorry, I was muted. I was going to say I wanted to take a moment out to discovered that this kid that Q and I grew up well, not grew up, but learned to really care about and love like a son or some shit. We learned today that he passed away on the 5th, and it was probably directly related to heroin. So yeah, he was a really sweet dude. I had a big heart and a big problem, and just anyway, he just popped in my mind for some reason. I just wanted to have something out there on record. Ben, I love you. We're gonna miss you, man. But he moved away though to his home where he's from. He's got a little boy and shit. So he was 32. Yeah. So
yeah, I know what you mean. I'm sorry, man. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah. Well, it's it's not a complete surprise, but it still hurts.
Yeah. You know, I live in the heroin capital of the Northeast.
Yep.
It's actually, we're at this point now, I think, with the heroin capital of America. I think I've buried about 42 people now. And it gets you to the point where you get numb from it. But,
right.
You know, you see the results every time. And just seeing those results is the one thing that never gets easier. And I just hope that your friend is at peace.
I believe he is. I honestly believe he is. if you know, if anything's of consolation there, his mind's at rest. Yeah, he had his demons.
Yeah.
Yep. So, well,
goddamn fucking reptile people trying to take our guns and shit.
Indeed. Yeah,
fucking reptilians.
Fucking reptilians. They're gonna take all our shit.
You gotta keep them under heat lamps and always have to clean their cages.
Yeah, you got to read David Icke. He'll show you the way.
Our republic's in trouble.
David Icke, he knows the way, man. He knows the way.
Our republic's in trouble, and we've got to take it back because that's who we are. We're Americans, and we love our country. And on that note, I'm going to give the mic back to IRATE Prostate and go look at his accused cans for a minute. Yeah, he can't stop me when he's on the mic, right? So yeah, okay. Well, I guess we'll do the outro shill. And since Burnside didn't get a chance to shill.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I do the running around and stuff, make sure that, you know, all the elevators are secure and not trying to kill people. But now that I don't have to do that right now, I am the Burnside Film Project. You can find me on YouTube, BitChute, and Gab AI. And I will have a few things in the work. As of tonight, I'll be working on a handful of chaos things because I'm going to try and get our merch thing together. So we'll have fun stuff for everyone soon. Nifty. As soon as I get it working.
Benoit balls? Go ahead, too. All right, Tara, you want to show your awesomeness?
Well, you can, of course, find me on YouTube, IMVU, and Twitter. And I'm still trying to sell purses, people.
Sweet.
And holiday wreaths.
Nice. Scoob?
Well, you guys know where you can find me. I'm here on YouTube. I am on Minds. I am on Gab AI, Patreon, and I am on Twitter as NotScooby331. I got a couple of things that are going to be in the works this coming spring. Going to have a few videos I'm putting up. And I'm actually going to put up a video that I wouldn't say it's clickbait, but I'm going to try to put something up that might actually wind up going viral. So it's going to be interesting. So you guys really should keep yourselves posted and follow me on what I'm up to next, because I have no idea what I'm doing and can't really tell you. So you just have to follow and find out.
That's right. And 6?
I am the next 6 minutes. I also have the next live streams channel. I just released a video announcing the wonderful holiday season of Marchmas.
Nice.
Which will be going on all next month, whether you like it or not.
Yes. Begins at midnight.
It begins at midnight.
That's right.
So look forward to a lot of Christmas videos.
Does this mean I have to bring a keg?
If you like.
Cool.
Nifty.
Bring a keg, bring a pizza. And, enjoy the Marchmas. And Marchmas cheer, everybody. Marchmas cheer. Also, I have a Sunday tea time stream about the Oscars. So tune into that one.
Yes, if I'm free, I might have to jump in on that, man. because I've got some opinions about some movies and some actors.
All right.
If I'm awake, I'll try and hop in and crack jokes at all these morons. Because I definitely want to see a Black because of all the hype of the damn movie.
It's gonna be early afternoon.
Yes.
Might be a gamble, but I will try because I want to see if Black Panther gains Oscar.
Well, let me say this now. I'm probably not going to be able to hop in with you 6 because I'm going to be honest. The language I'll wind up using will have your stream shut down immediately.
Well, hey, hang out and chat.
That I can do because I can do it like in the old-fashioned comic strips where you'll use all the symbols instead of actual profanity.
There you go.
Oh, I love that. I love
That'll
it.
work.
Yeah.
And miss it. Okay, and I guess I'll wrap it up. This is, of course, the IRATE Prostate hosting Chaos 120. Tomorrow I will be with Big Fat Brian, and we'll be looking at the movie Raw on our Hot Takes on Netflix show. We try to time it to where it comes out after the Kumite. So if you're into that, then just look on my channel for it. This movie is fantastically strange, and I urge everybody to catch it because it's good. Of course, Friday, still planning on doing a cream stream. And of course, in alternate to that, there's also will be a Chaos 120 stream. Drinks with friends, of course, and Weibo on Saturday, and Sunday my usual wanderings. So, and on that note, this is IRATE Prostate saying Chaos 120. This is another Wednesday out, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.